It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. My ego diary politico, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. Aha, now you muna don't hear all these bad politicians. Then we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting suppose get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one. My ego, you go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary na ibi kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ o làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun diary, na you be number one.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun ma wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun ma wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun ma wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Hello there, brethren. Welcome back to the brunch time with Mayegun live, and good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you as well from wherever you are joining us. So thanks for joining us. Read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, and then we delve straight into it afterward. Thank you. So today is the 1st of October. It is also the 65th anniversary of Nigeria's independence. So, which has gotten a lot of people talking. Is there anything at all worth celebrating? While some believe that, yeah, still worthy of celebration that Nigeria is still existing, and others are like, no, come on. The same countries who started like Nigeria, in fact, many of them who have left Nigeria behind, and because of that, the criminal politicians have failed. So this morning, Koolu, in the usual way, right? They have this, their cut and join edited, recorded, edited broadcast to the country, where he reeled out the successes, but not without reminding them that he inherited a country that is near collapsed. That's Nigeria. But he inherited from who? From Buhari, of course. So I have done us a bit of a favor, because we need to hear what Tinubu told Nigerians. Initially, they've already cancelled any form of celebration, that there's nothing to celebrate. So let everybody just, but at the same time, they are reeling out lies. Lies that ordinarily you would know that they don't believe in those lies. And if they believe in those lies, then there is a problem. So Koolu spoke about the improved healthcare in Nigeria, where people barely go abroad for treatment anymore because Nigeria hospitals can take care of them. And he just came back from France for the same medical trip, by the way. So they have given over 330 something billion naira to 8 million Nigerians. That one is like, somebody said, that one is like you order for something from a vendor, and then the vendor, while you are waiting for what you ordered, right? The vendor is now sending a message that, are you enjoying what I posted to you? And you're like, no, I've not seen it. And I was like, what do you mean you've not seen it? Something that you have been using already. That is exactly what Tinubu and his gang are forcing on you, believing their own lies so much that, honestly speaking, people who probably sat there to listen will just be like, and you know, so Tinubu believes that you are already enjoying the renewed hope. It's renewed hope. But to make it easier on us, okay? So it's a very long clip. So what I did was that I just kind of increased the speed so I could say whatever it's got to say by interval, by the way. All right. So the first part, the first part of Koolu's Independence Day speech, talking about their forefather, their fourth this and that. Anyway, let's start with this.
Fellow Nigerians, today marks the 65th anniversary of our great nation's independence. As we reflect on the significance of this day and our journey of nationhood since October 1960, when our founding fathers accepted the instrument of self-government from colonial rule, let us remember that their sacrifice, devotion, and grand dream of a strong, prosperous, and united Nigeria that will lead Africa and be the beacon of light to the rest of the world. Our founding heroes and heroines, Herbert Macaulay, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Margaret Ekpo, Anthony Enahoro, Ladoke Akintola, Michael Okpara, Aminu Kano, Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, and other nationalists believe it was Nigeria's manifest destiny to lead the entire black race as the largest black nation on earth. For decades, the promise of our independence has been tested by profound social, economic, and political challenges, and we have survived. While we may not have achieved all the lofty dreams of our forebearers, we have not strayed too far from them. In 65 years since our independence, we have made tremendous progress in economic growth, social cohesion, and physical development. Our economy has experienced significant growth since 1960. Although it is much easier for those whose vocation is to focus solely on what ought to be, we must recognize and celebrate our significant progress. Nigerians today have access to better education and healthcare than in 1960. At independence, Nigeria had 120 secondary schools with a student population of about 130,000. Available data indicate that as of year 2024, there were more than 23,000 secondary schools in our country. At independence, we had only the University of Ibadan and Yaba College of Technology as the two tertiary institutions in Nigeria. By the end of last year, there were 274 universities, 183 polytechnics, and 236 colleges of education in Nigeria, comprising federal, state, and private institutions. We have experienced a significant surge in growth across every sector of our national life since independence. In healthcare, infrastructure, financial services, manufacturing, telecommunications, information, technology, aviation and defense, among others. Our country has experienced both the good and the bad times in its 65 years of nationhood. As it's normal for every nation and it is people. We fought a bitter and avoidable civil war, experienced military dictatorships, and lived through major political crises. In all this, we weathered every storm and overcame every challenge with courage, grit, and uncommon determination. While our system and ties that bind us are sometimes stretched by insidious forces opposed to our values and ways of life, we continue to strive to build a more perfect union where every Nigerian can find better accommodation and find purpose and fulfillment. Fellow compatriots, this is the third time I will address you on our independence anniversary since I assumed office as your president on May 29, 2023. In the last 28 months of my administration, like our founding fathers and leaders who came before me, I have committed myself irrevocably to the unfinished nation-building business. Upon assuming office, our administration inherited a near-collapse economy caused by decades of fiscal policy distortions and misalignment that had impaired real growth. As a new administration, we face a simple choice: continue business as usual and watch our nation drift or embark on a courageous fundamental reform path. We chose the path of reform. We chose the path of tomorrow over the comfort of today. Less than 3 years later, the seeds of those difficult but necessary decisions are bearing fruits. In resetting our country for sustainable growth, we ended the corrupt fuel subsidy and multiple foreign exchange rates that created massive incentive for a rentier economy, benefiting only a tiny minority. At the same time, the masses received little or nothing from our commonwealth. Our administration has redirected the economy towards a more inclusive path, channeling money to fund education, healthcare, national security, agriculture, and political economic infrastructure, such as roads, power, broadband, and social investment programs. These initiatives will generally improve Nigerians' quality of life as a result of the tough decisions we made. The federal and state government, including local government, now have more money to take care of the people at the lower level of the ladder to address our development challenges. Fellow Nigerians, we are racing against time. We must build the road we need, repair the ones that have become descriptive, and construct the schools.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣiyèrè.
Let's take them one by one, the ones we can pick from. Just as a refresher, Tinubu was talking about having just 2 schools in 1960. And then they are having more now, having a certain number of student admission in 1960, and then now. So what is it? I mean, what was he trying to say? That your population that is growing, because at the same period, in that same 65 years, they have looted more than $500 billion from Nigeria, this crop of criminals, successively. So that 65 years, your population grew so astronomically to what it is now. At least we don't have any backup data for that, but I mean, yeah. So is it not expected that when your population grows, the infrastructures to cater for them should grow as well? So today, you have schools, you have universities, you have colleges, this and that, right? So what is the quality of the schools? What is the quality of the education they are giving them? What is the accessibility to what it was in 1960 and what it is right now? Before they clap for themselves, talking about the quality of the country, you know? So Tinubu should ordinarily know that. However, he went on to talk about inheriting a near collapsed country. So to Tinubu, if not for him, Nigeria would have collapsed by now. Whatever he meant by that, I can deduce a bit. He's talking about maybe money. Because to him, you make more money now from your devalued naira, where the former 1 billion naira, 100 billion naira is equivalent to 1 trillion naira today. So when you have 1 trillion, now you are made to believe that you have so much money. But what is the value of it? No thanks to Tinubu. Then he's talking about the local government's autonomy. Do you know that's another lie? There's one lie that maybe we should remind you. Tinubu and his gang that promised new minimum wage. Do you know that they have not started paying it in a uniform way? And so everybody is collecting it in the federal. At the state level, the implementation for this, their minimum wage of 70,000, 77,000, 85,000, they were all announcing then. Imo State, 107,000. All those announcements, only just about maybe 10% of them are actually really implementing the new minimum wage in Nigeria right now. but they continue to repeat it. We increased your minimum wage. They are paying minimum wage now. They can buy a bag of rice, the blah, the blah. The other one is the local government autonomy. I mean, Tinubu believes that right now, or should I don't know, maybe he believes that, right? But Tinubu is, and those around him continue to repeat that lie that local governments are now getting more money because Tinubu's local government autonomy, they are giving the local governments the money now. That is not true. In February 2024, Tinubu's Minister for Injustice, went to court. In what I had no idea how they probably conjured the whole nonsense at the time, right? To deceive and hoodwink the people. Supreme Court just delivered a judgment and said that, local government allocation, local government autonomy means local government should be receiving the allocation from now on. So every local government should go and provide their own official bank accounts for their money to be paid to them. Right? Up to this moment, Hengbai has not been paid to any official local government account directly from Abuja. None. Every state governor still pocketing the local government money. More than a year after Tinubu and his gang made that an headline. But everywhere he's been to, like student loan, everywhere they've been to, right? It's always like, local government gets more money now. So when you try to question the failure of his policies, right, they will tell you that you go and meet your local government. All of these are deliberate, but they are not real. They are not true. Do you understand? So if you now say, but this is not true now, he's giving himself a glory for something that is not true. But when you now put it to them and say, but it's not true now, they will say, we'll go and meet the governor now. That's not Tinubu's destiny now. She'll be not the governor. Go and meet the governor to release the money. Me should go and meet governor to release local government money. Like, are you being serious? Somebody is already saying that, no, you didn't need any governor because local government autonomy means direct from Abuja, you take your money. There is no local government collecting their money directly from Abuja right now. Nowhere in Nigeria, not a single place, except Osun. Remember, this is Wala in Osun State. Yeah, the local government, the now Minister of Marine and Ocean something, or this Marine Spirit and Ocean Surge, former governor of Osun, Oletola. So Oletola, when Oletola was leaving, after he was defeated, he conducted local government election. And APC people were declared winners of all the local government elections before Ajogbafida took over. So when Ajogbafida took over as Osun governor, like he just automatically went to court and said, well, they should dissolve them because the conduct of their election, the person who conducted the election had no blah, 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 you get sha. So they've been at it. Finally, the court ruled that those guys that were sent away, because he sent them away, the APC guys that were sent away before he assumed office, they are the authentic local government chairmen, so they should be allowed to resume. You get that? So in the process, when, the resistance, the whole argument about, no, they can't come back, this and that, Tinubu withheld their money, local government money for Osun State, right? Last weekend, Friday, the news broke that Tinubu's Minister of Finance, right? They called all these APC local government chairmen that have been kicked out of office by the PDP government there, right? And they've not really been allowed to go back to the local government. Tinubu's Minister of Finance, Wale Idun, and others, they called these guys to send their private accounts, and they released local government money to the individual account provided by these guys. I don't know if you have seen that, but that's not part of what we want to talk about, this their independence, on Independence Day or something, right? So Koolu and his gang pushed lies so hard that it seems that they themselves are believing the lies. And that is dangerous. I can be lying to you, and I'll just, probably feel better when I believe that you are believing the lie, because I don't believe in my lie if I'm lying to you. But imagine if I am believing my own lie. Like get what people call the delusion, the lulu. I'm beginning to say, yes, do you know that as I am, I am where I am not. And everybody's like, okay, maybe it's just catching cruise. And then you feel like, no, it's not catching cruise, it's serious. So, Mayego, are you actually serious? All these things you are saying, you say, yes, do you know that? They say, well, it's in the mental. That's the problem. It is a dangerous thing when people lie to themselves and they believe the lies. It simply means that they are living in an alternative world, different from yours. No matter what you are saying, it's like just talking to the wall. You don't expect any response, in my own opinion. The other part of Koolu's lies, I speed up the video for a reason. But it sounded like it's kind of like, all right, it's not the usual. I know, it's awkward. Koolu.
Our administration is setting things right now. I'm pleased to report that we have finally turned the corner. The worst is over, I say. Yesterday's pains are giving way to relief. I salute your endurance, support, and understanding. I will continue to work for you and justify the confidence you repose in me to steer the ship of our nation to a safer harbor. Under our leadership, our economy is recovering fast, and the reforms we started over 2 years ago are delivering tangible results. The second quarter 2025 gross domestic product grew by 4.23%. That's Nigeria's fastest pace in 4 years, and outpaced the 3.4% projected by the International Monetary Fund. Inflation declined to 20.12% in August 2025, the lowest level in 3 years. The administration is working diligently to boost agricultural production and ensure food security to reducing food costs. In the last 2 years of our administration, we've achieved 12 remarkable economic milestones as a result of the implementation of our sound fiscal and monetary policies. We have attained a record-breaking increase in non-oil revenue, achieving 2025 target by August with over 20 trillion naira. In September 2025 alone, we raised 3.65 trillion. That is 411% higher than the amount raised in May year 2023. We have restored physical health. Our debt service to revenue ratio has been significantly reduced from 97% to below 50%. We have paid down the infamous ways and means advances that threaten our economic stability and triggered inflation. Following the removal of the corrupt petroleum subsidy, we have freed up trillions of naira for targeted investment in the real economy and social programs for the most vulnerable, as well as all tiers of government. We have a stronger foreign reserve position today than 3 years ago. Our external reserves increased to 42.03 billion this September, the highest since 2019. Our tax to GDP ratio has risen to 13.5% from less than 10%. The ratio is expected to increase further when new tax law takes effect in January. The tax law is not about increasing the burden on existing taxpayers, but about expanding the base to build the Nigeria we deserve and providing tax relief to low-income earners. We are now a net exporter. Nigeria has recorded a trade surplus for 5 consecutive quarters. We are now selling more to the world than we are buying, a fundamental shift that strengthens our currency and creates jobs at home. Nigeria's trade surplus increased by 44.3% in the second quarter of year 2025 to 7.46 trillion. That is $4.74 billion, the largest in about 3 years. Goods manufactured in Nigeria and exported jumped by 173%. Non-oil export as a component of our export trade now represents 48% compared to oil exports, which account for 52%. This signals that we are diversifying our economy and foreign exchange sources outside oil and gas. Our oil production rebounded to 1.68 million barrels per day from barely 1 million in May 2023. The increase occurred due to improved security, new investments, and better stakeholder management in Niger Delta. Furthermore, the country has made notable advances by refining PMS domestically for the first time in 4 decades. It has also established itself as the continent's leading exporter of aviation fuel. The Naira has stabilized from the turbulence and volatility witnessed in 2023 and 2024. The gap between the official rate and the unofficial market has reduced substantially following FX reforms and fresh capital and remittance inflows. The multiple exchange rates, which fostered corruption and arbitrage, are now part of history. Additionally, our currency rate against the dollar is no longer determined by the fluctuation in crude oil prices. Under the social investment program, to support poor households and vulnerable Nigerians, 330 billion has been disbursed to 8 million households, many of whom have received either 1 or 2 out of 3 tranches of the 25,000 naira each. Coal mining recovered dramatically from a 22% decline in Q1 to 57.5% growth in second quarter of 2025, becoming one of the Nigerians.
Now to on far. Ma okuta to wa nbe ma yoku nbe ma sabi bata ban sa ewa.
He's living in an alternative world, I told you. They will write all this fancy stuff, right? Word salad. They're just word salads. Somebody said that who is verifying all of this in Nigeria? Because they are not real. They are lies. Just something that you put together by supposed, economists, engineers, and or anybody who's got that probably like that kind of like a talent. You put them, they call them speech writers sometimes. They can put a very, very imaginary write-up for you that you'll be reading. Even you, you'll be wondering like, am I talking about myself like this? Is that me? Is this even real? There are people who are very good that way, speech writers. But they mock the real citizens who are supposed to have connection. You are supposed to be connected to what your president is saying. Every time the leader of a country is addressing the country, right? Millions of people would have 1 or 2 or 3 things to connect them to that speech. And that's why you realize that before a leader of a country will come and give speech, right? He would have this prep with his team who are going to chip in factual info and wherever they want to use propaganda too, right? So they are going to chip all of that in together into what he's going to go tell the country. Because when you finish speaking, the country will react. Those who are never mentioned, or they were never kind of like mentioned properly, or the sharing that you announced, some people are left out. So the reaction will follow. But for Tinubu, they just come and lie to them. Now you go call you ask yourself, say, machine and this Nigeria they are talking about another place. Yeah, you'll be the one like, hang on, no. Is it okay? Because there are questions you can ask that will put, what do you call it? That will put a seal on all the lies. Let's try this one. They are sharing, okay, let's start from that of economy that I mentioned in that speech. The economy has taken the corner. The exchange rates are stabilized. The cost of things will be coming down. So do you know in the textbook of APC, what is considered better is the standard they give to you. Now, look at it this way. These guys were the ones who told us. This was when Nigeria was selling 1.5, 1.4 million barrels of crude oil under Egberi Jolantan. So this Nigeria had oil windfall. That Jolantan and his people, they stole the money, right? That a liter of petroleum in Nigeria shouldn't be more than 40 naira. So selling it to you then for 127 naira, they shut down the country. You can remove that subsidy. That is the only thing that people are connected to the people. Bokwari called it, what is subsidy? Subsidy is a scam. Then Bokwari came, subsidy increased by more than 3,000% under them, which means they paid more. And Nigerians even paid more. So things skyrocketed under Bokwari. A bag of rice of 7,500 naira during Jonathan's time jumped straight to over 30,000 naira. A dollar was officially 149 naira to $1. And in the black market, 200 naira, 199 naira, 202 naira. As at 2015, right? Then they came in. The corrupt government that was supposed to be saving money from crude oil, right? When Nigeria was selling crude oil and all that, suddenly, when these guys came in, a liter of petroleum jumped to, 160 something naira a liter. An exchange rate jumped straight up to like 600 naira to a dollar. Then it came down to, let's say, 420 naira to $1. And they expected everybody to share them up and say, wow, well done. The economy is coming down now. A bag of rice that jumped to 35,000 naira came down to maybe 30,000 naira because they increased minimum wage too, so that I could balance and say you could buy a bag of rice, right? So, but that's the standard of APC. Nigeria that was generating over 7,000 megawatt of electricity when APC came in, before they came in, distributing over 5,000 of that, right? But when APC came in, Nigeria started declining. This is a fact, so declined. So Nigeria started generating just barely 5,000 megawatts and distributing 3,500 megawatts. And these criminals have been spending more money on propaganda to make people believe that, we have more light now. We are now having more light now. Because if you have light, if you have electricity, right, 20 hours a day, 15 hours a day, that automatically cancels those who have not seen that electricity for months, some for years. And others, they barely see it maybe once or twice in a week. But in the world of APC, you see that one that is getting 15 hours, 20 hours is more patriotic than those of you who are getting darkness and still complaining. Because to them, they will say, but they will get to you, now. They are working. Me, I can tell you, before now, we don't even used to have electricity. But now, Baba, if you come to my area, I barely use my generator again. Because to him, it's got electricity. So what are you talking about? That those who don't have, I never used to have too. But now I have. So why should we now condemn government for those who currently don't have? But the fact is that the country is not progressing. It is declining. But APC, Egbekegbe continue to paint the picture of, hey, when Tinubu came in, a liter of petrol jumped to over 1,000 naira. What? And they told the people that it's okay. Then it came down to 850 naira, 860 naira. And they were like, see, everything is coming down. I was like, are you crazy? You are the guys who were mad because of 87 naira per liter. And some of you were crazily mad because of 160 naira per liter. So 850 naira is fine because the economy is now taking a turn. That is the APC style. You don't get it because you are going to be forced to agree. A bag of rice jumped to over 120,000 naira at a point under this Tinubu. Today, you get that a bag of rice for 85,000, 80,000. The economy has turned the corner. Are you saying that it's not better now? Are you mad? A bag of rice used to be just 30,000 naira under Bukwari and everybody was complaining. But they should be happy that it's 85,000. APC ways of telling you that everything is fine. 750,000 naira. Sorry, 750 naira. Rather, no, 720 naira to $1 was the black market rate as of 2023. Official rate is 420 naira. See the gap, 300 naira. That 300 naira gap was what Tinubu and his gang are now praising themselves to say it has stabilized when a dollar is now 1,600 naira. Things that ordinarily you would never believe anybody would be comfortable with. Now they have people, experts, telling you, explaining to you, you know what, in economy, in fact, they are doing well. I have to give it to them. If you look at the IMF, if you look at World Bank release, did you see that the inflation is coming down? Do you see, yeah. I went to the market the other day, a bag of rice is just 82,000 naira. And I was like, oh, things are coming down because, oh my God, like Stockholm syndrome, there seems to be like they're so good with that. They're so perfect in weaponizing your Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, but at least this is better than. So what happened to where it was back then? What happened to the devaluation of your currency? That people who told you changing a dollar for 200 naira means Nigeria was finished. I mean, for 145 naira means Nigeria was finished. And they are now telling you that it's actually very good as they are exchanging it for 1,600 naira. Now, what is Nigeria selling more to the world? Anybody? Because they always love to talk about diversification, in the social diversification. Because to them, they're talking to, they are talking to the Senate. That is the bunch of monkeys, like dumps, like that. Diversification. It must be something. What is that thing? The only guy who could help you talk about exporting something that is of value is Dangote, who have started exporting Jet 1 fuel, the aviation fuel, that one that they use kerosene plus, whatever, like they use for your aircraft. Dangote has been sending that to other African countries selling, right? He's been, he's actually selling as far as Europe. Dangote product there, yeah? They're selling as far as Europe. I don't have the evidence now, but I've read it somewhere. When it comes to outside Nigeria, in 2024 alone, when the operation is they face that chaotic, systemic sabotage or something, right? Dangote was said to have made over 360 something. No, sorry, I'm mixing it up. Like over 3 trillion naira worth of exports of his PMS, diesel, Jet 1 outside. So that's something that you can say, oh, is measurable, but it is still oil and gas. So what is that non-oil sector that Nigeria is selling to the world and they are making more money from? What exactly? Agriculture? War? Or other mineral resources, non-oil, Abi? So they continue to make up all these things that when you begin to probe them, right, you will realize that they are not what they say they are. Just doctored book, lies, jargons. Maybe their non-oil money is actually your tax, or the ones they take from the border, the customs, and then all those other little big pockets they do. That leads to a lot of money, which they are very proud of. They have more money. We have more money now. But where is the money? Yeah? There is more. Well, I think some of you are already bored of Koolu and his lies, right? Let's listen to a little bit more, and then we'll call it off. I will go to something concerning this Nigeria at 65. Where's Nigeria going to be at? Nigeria at 70? So that would be like a year 2030, right? So Nigeria will be like 70 years. So if Koolu is still your president, by then he will still be reminding you of inheriting a bad economy. Okay, but he's now going to leave this country for you like on a very sound, better place. No matter waiting that they go through that time, he go sit there, you say, "In do you favor?" Some lies that they believe themselves.
And the Kaduna-Kano rail line are nearing completion. Work is progressing well on Legacy Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and Sokoto-Badagry Highway. The Federal Executive Council recently approved $3 billion to complete the Eastern Railway project. The world is taking notice of our efforts. Sovereign credit rating agencies have upgraded our outlook for Nigeria, recognizing our improved economic fundamentals. Our stock market is experiencing an unprecedented boom, rising from all-share index of 55,000 points in May 2003 to 142,000 points as of September 26, 2025. At its last MPC meeting, the central bank slashed interest rate for the first time in 5 years, expressing confidence in our country's macroeconomic stability. On security, we are working diligently to enhance national security, ensuring our economic experiences improved growth and performance. The officers and men of our armed forces and other security agencies are working tirelessly and making significant sacrifices to keep us safe. They are winning the war against terrorism, banditry, and other violent crimes. We see their victories in their blood and sweat to stamp out Boko Haram terror in the northeast, IPOB ESN terror in southeast, and banditry and kidnapping. We must continue to celebrate their gallantry and salute their courage on behalf of a grateful nation. Peace has returned to hundreds of our liberated communities in the northwest and northeast, and thousands of our people have returned safely to their homes. I have a message for you, you young people. You are the future and the greatest asset of this blessed country. You must continue to dream big, innovate, and conquer more territories in your various fields of science, technology, sport, and art and creative sector. Our administration, through policies and funding, will continue to give you wings to fly sky high. We created NEL Fund to support students with loans for their educational pursuits. Approximately 510,000 students across 32 states of the Federation, including FCT, have benefited from this initiative, covering 228 higher institutions. As of September 10, the total loan disbursed was 99.5 billion, while the upkeep allowance stood as 44.7 billion. Credit Corp, another initiative of our administration, has granted over 153,000 Nigerians 30 billion affordable loans for vehicles, solar energy, home upgrades, digital devices, and more. Youth Credit, which I promised last June, is a reality, with tens of thousands of NYSC members now active beneficiaries of consumer credit for resettlement. Under our Renew Hope agenda, we promise to build a Nigeria where every young person, regardless of background, has an equitable opportunity to access a better future. Thus, the investment in digital and creative enterprise, IDICE program, the Bank of Industry, is driving the program in collaboration with the African Development Bank, the French Development Agency, and the Islamic Development Bank. This initiative is at the cusp of implementation. our last 2 years, we have collaborated with our partners to launch the program, supporting our young builders and dreamers in the technology and creative sector. This is a message of hope, fellow Nigerians. I've always candidly acknowledged that this reform have come with some temporary pains. The biting effects of inflation and the rising cost of living remains a significant concern to our government. However, the alternative of allowing our country to descend into economic chaos or bankruptcy was not an option. Our macroeconomic progress has proven that our sacrifices have not been in vain. Together, we are laying a new foundation cast in concrete, not on quicksand. The accurate measure of our success.
I think na statistic we go chop. A lie with arithmetic that no Indian can solve it.
Koolu. But let me remind you something. Let me remind you of something. Koolu and this gang want you to believe that even if you don't like him, the idea of giving loan to students who are poor is not that a bad idea now. A lot of people have condemned it by giving their own different reasons. I mean, that's your opinion, which is free. Oh, well, who will give them job that they will use to pay the loan back? How many people will get the loan? This and that, all your concerns and worries and all that, they are legit and valid. But there's something you should know that will make you understand that there is no evil that exists right now that affects lives of millions of people than anything APC. Egbekegbe. Before Tinubu came, right? Before, or should I say even when he was governor, there's something called the MDG rather, Millennium Development Goals, which covers areas like, environment, healthcare, education, access to education and the rest of that. But prior, Nigeria had a system which is somehow as criminally minded as those guys before this APC, as they were. Their greed was kind of like managed in a way, okay? See, when it comes to subsidy, they deliberately sabotaged the country's refineries so that they will be importing fuel. And the criminals in government allowed that. But nevertheless, they believe that it will still give the people the cheap fuel, which mostly is the driver of Nigeria's economy per se, that fuel. Once it changes, everything changes today with everything. So they maintained it over the years. So many of them got rich and they managed the poverty in Nigeria. But when the PC came, right, when Tinubu came, he removed the subsidy, then promised them that he will give something back to cushion the effect that he never did, other than sharing money, because to them, we give 25,000 naira to people or 75,000 naira to them in 3 tranches, right? That is us lifting them out of poverty, 75,000 naira, 3 times, probably for 3 months. And that's it. You get that now? It's not like, oh yeah, you're on benefit and they are giving you 25,000 naira pocket money every month until you find a job, right? So there was no need to give anybody money in Nigeria until APC Egbekegbe came. And the idea of sharing money did not even come from Bokwari. It came from Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu, when they said they wanted to lift 10 million Nigerians out of poverty. They were giving them 10,000 naira to go and do any business. Now talking about people doing business. Before APC Egbekegbe came in, hang on, let me finish that of the education. On that education part, right? Education in Nigeria, when it comes to the federal and state, they are highly subsidized. And the reason is very simple. That people are so poor that even these guys who call themselves economists, both local and foreign, They understand the fact that Nigeria's education is the cheapest and it is on purpose. Do you get that now? Not that Nigerians don't go elsewhere, even within Nigeria as well, to acquire expensive education. That has always been the existing. But alternatively for the entire population is that a subsidized education. And that is why you saw people who went to Unilag, as prestigious and famous as Unilag is, right? You will hear people who tell you that their own, what do you call it? Their school fees, right? Per semester or so was somewhere around 1,500 naira. And they will be complaining, not because of their tuition, they will be complaining about their rent or their hostel or house rent or whatever around their schools. When it comes to their education, right, there's no cutthroat. And that was deliberate. Simply means that you have that choice. And if you do not have the money to go and acquire this expensive education, you will still have access to quality education. But they destroyed all of that. So Tinubu now came, removed that subsidy. No money for anybody again, because there's no money. Which now gave the school management in Nigeria, government schools, so they are now charging almost as much as private schools in Nigeria. There are over 10 million Nigerians who are in public universities. And I'm being conservative by managing the number. Over 10 million of them. Tinubu, your president, that removed subsidy for 10 million people. Then said he's giving loan, student loan. And he has given, in 2 years, they have given student loan to 510,000 people. Wow, that's great. This must be a visionary leader. So you see the rest who are lost in the shovel. They are being promised that to still get to them, the application is being processed. When more money is available, they will get money too, and the rest of that. But a system where the Ministry of Education gets their allocation, the school management gets theirs, and this correct. I mean, that's how they run their system in that place. So if the government says I'm no longer involved, at the same time, turn around and say, okay, I'm involved, but I'm going to give you short loan that you pay me back when you get a job. They want you to praise that. Giving money to young entrepreneurs in Nigeria. There's something called You Win. I don't know if you remember. You Win. Thank you, Jerry. Chuk. You now you get time. I explained it from the start that it will be boring if you have to sit through and be listening to. So I increased the speed, and I'm glad that we're over it. It's like, so that's what happened. Indeed. So back to the story. Before APC, there's something called You Win. And there are so many other series of kind of like programs like that. This was an idea put together by the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to help the young people, young entrepreneurs who have smart ideas. So they had this kind of like conference of a thing where everyone came, presented their own business ideas, the blueprint and workability and everything. Baba, people who won, walked on with 10 million naira. 10 million naira back then is like this current deal. Make government can they write you the check of 250 million naira. Say, oh yeah, go start business. No. 100 and let's say write you a check of 160 million naira because your business idea is among the ones that they picked or that won in that engagement, and then you have enough to go and start that idea. Go. APC Egbe came in, they cancelled it. They started sharing 10,000 naira, and they were making a big fuss about it, right? That the poorest people are now getting, they're now getting the support they needed. You don't understand. 10,000 naira, although that 10,000 naira back then is like 100,000 naira now. No joke. All right. So 10,000 naira, do you know what business they can do? How much do you think it takes to start a roadside corn seller? How much do you think it takes to start a sachet water business? They glorified it until the minister they appointed to be sharing that kind of money is now accused of squandering over 4 trillion naira. 4 trillion naira. That's how much Shadia eventually mismanaged. I don't want to say stole, because she probably didn't do it alone. In the space of 4 years, 4 trillion naira. It was so bad that a court in Nigeria ruled that the immediate minister in charge of that sharing of money that they put in place to replace all those stuff, right? The court said she should go and pay back over 900 billion naira. That before anything, you have to go and pay back 900 billion. Wait, kilote. I do it to you. You know what I mean? Even their own court. Buy Shadia no payback up till now. And Shadia is working free. Absolutely. So this is the style of APC. If you don't know the pattern, if you don't know them very well, you will be out there thinking those who are calling them out are just doing so because they don't like Tinubu. Beyond not liking Tinubu, whether you like her or you know, that's not his actions, the actions and inactions of this Tinubu and his gang, and what they have done to you. Enough that everything seems like the more things changes, the more they remain the same, kind of. I don't have the audience, you know. So that's what they do. Today, they've removed the subsidy on your electricity. They have increased the cost of darkness. But they've turned the corner. Your turned corner. Which corner? The curve. Right, that's a different one. Because this is a Nigerian who can tell you if the thing don't turn corner, I be don't bend corner.
Gentlemen, Nigeria, this is why you must come out for a very serious movement. I mean, everybody. Apparently, everybody in this country is indirectly working for these politicians. Like, this is indirect slavery. I'm going to show you something that will blow your mind now. If you're watching this place from any country outside Nigeria, you have to understand, all other countries have to understand that this administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, has completely destroyed the entire future of Nigerian youths. iPhone 17 just came out, right? And iPhone 17 is priced around $1,200 plus tax and everything coming to Nigeria is going to make it approximately 2.something million naira. The average salary in Nigeria is 77,000 naira. I'm just going to increase it to 100,000 naira. Now, let's say your expenses, your house rent, your feeding money, and other expenses in the month is 50,000 naira out of that 100,000 naira. It simply means that you have to be saving 50,000 naira. You are painstakingly saving that 50,000 naira to buy this iPhone 17 that just came out. Do you know how long you need to save it before you can afford the phone? You are going to save that money for 40 good months. And that is 3 years and 3 months. So if you want to buy iPhone 17 from your average salary in Nigeria now that I have even increased, it means that you are going to buy iPhone 17 in 2028. This economy is ridiculous, and why I am making this video now is somebody that called himself the president of this our country is talking about tax in 2026. Both you wey be man who wan marry and the lady wey dey feel like say they wan come marry you, for you to get marriage in Nigeria, poor people marriage in Nigeria must cost you nothing less than 5 million naira. It must cost you nothing less than 5 million naira. Now let's say that you're having that working salary, you are saving 50,000 out of 100,000, which I have even increased. You are saving 50,000 every month. Do you know how long you are going to save money before you can marry? You are going to save for 100 good months. That is around 8 years. Start now to save money to marry. I mean, 5 million naira to marry is going to be saved. It's going to be complete in around 2033. Now, I know the shame for this country, and Nigerian youth are not doing anything. Somebody is talking about tax in 2026. I want to build house. You want to build house. The most simple house that you can build in Nigeria, even if it's 1 room, 1 toilet, just more house that you want. And in as much as you have a roof, you have a block house, you have a roof, you have doors, you have windows, it's going to cost you nothing less than 10 million naira in Nigeria. Do you know how long you are going to save that 50,000 before you can build a house in Nigeria? You are going to save it for 200 good months. That is approximately 16 years. This is how blurry the future of Nigerian youth has become because of this administration, and nobody is saying anything about it. Forget about you that is doing maybe anything that you are doing. Maybe you are doing some freelance work, or maybe you are doing Yahoo, or you own a business that is giving you sustenance, that is giving you more money than this. We are calculating this based on standard of living in Nigeria, because standard of living in a country can be approximately calculated from the average salary in that country. This is the standard of living in Nigeria. This is how deteriorated the system has become. And somebody is talking about tax. in 2026. I'm making this video for Nigerian youths, you people that fail to understand how blurry your future has become. House 15 million house, which is actually a poor man house, and you are saving from your salary. I'm just here to tell you that you will need to build that house in around 2035, 2038, or 2040. Your life don't spoil. Una life don't spoil. Nigerian youth, una life don't spoil. And you know who they spoil una life? Now old man will go even die soon. Old man wey nobody know whether he go reach 2050. Now him dey spoil everybody's future. And people know they look at like this. Gentlemen, Nigeria, this
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not. Let's be poor. Breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility. If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax nets. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we'll take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the. If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it is successful again. A town hall different from Blue Bulaba.
So they will ask you that must you use an iPhone? Or it's just painting the picture of what it is like to live in Nigeria and be earning that ridiculous amount. You get that now? So he forgot to say by 2026, you won't be able to buy an iPhone 17 in 3 years because you are earning 100,000 naira, because that 100,000 naira means that your annual income is 1.2 million. You go pay tax. So that means you probably will be taking home 1.1 million. So divide that by 12, it's not going to be 100,000 anymore. So by the time you start paying those rent and all of that, right, you won't save. You won't be able to save up to 30,000 naira. So if we now put that into consideration, it may be up to 2033 before you'll be able to afford iPhone 17. Or must you use iPhone 17? How about you want to have your own house? So just forget about all those things. Just collect the money, eat, sleep, wake up, work, eat, sleep, wake up, and live your life until you can't do it anymore. And around that time, if you live like that, isn't it better for somebody to probably just die than to start queuing under the sun for your pension, which in itself, at that time, may likely not be enough to even pay for your medication. In old age, medication you need, if you're retired, that's going to need medication, regular medication, Baba, that can't pay for it. Because you've used all your energy at the time to work for peanuts that kind of like make you poor, because the system you are operating in is rigged against you. Do you understand? It's rigged against you. It's not equal, it's not balanced. You need to see through that your years in this life can just pass so fast before you could even like get to understand what's your purpose on this earth. That's the society they have created. It's a scary, scary one. And there are people who are falling below the safety net. They are practically inside the poverty basket. which makes Nigeria the poverty capital of the world. Scary. You need to see the poverty, children in poverty, elderly in poverty. When they have stats or statistics on them, you will weep in that contraption. And in that same space, you see all these guys who are living opulently, you know, they live so. And they will tell the people that they've never been poor. They've always been rich. Do you see a poor man contest election? Do you see a poor man win election? I've always been rich. So because I'm now in the public, I shouldn't buy the latest car. I shouldn't buy the new private jet. Morality. Or should I say, the moral decadence. But there are others who believe that there's nothing to celebrate, right? And the protest won't even fix it. First person, Showore, talking about Nigeria's dependence.
Nigeria's independence is what we are pursuing. The one they are celebrating is the one of the colonial masters. Our own independence has not arrived yet.
Yes.
That is why annually we used to protest on Independence Day. We are still looking for independence. We want to be freed from neo-colonial masters and slave masters in our. We are still living in apartheid.
Yes.
Any country where people work and they cannot get pension is not an independent country. Any country where people speak and they get clamped down into prison or detention is not independent. That is what the colonial masters used to do to us. Yes. The colonial masters used to call what they call cyber crime. Now they used to call it the sedition law. If you speak, you go to jail against authority. So we are still looking for independence. Revolution.
Now, sure. And he's right. Usually they would have organized some street marching, street protests to, establish their displeasure again of why Nigeria is not independent, you know. Dele Farutimi also added this.
Now, protests are very, very, very important, but we should also properly identify the issues. The people who invaded my offices to drag me to Ekiti, based on a charge unknown to law, were wearing RRS vests. That was the same SARS that people died to hand. They changed the name. If you go to some of their formations, they are still using SARS. They didn't bother to change the stationaries. That is what protest produced. This system is unamenable to change. So if we are protesting, let us understand that the protest should be to end this system so that we birth a new country. It is the victims who have to recognize the fact that they are victims, and it is until when they have concerted their efforts as a collective that they can wrest any concessions and get this system to change. Instead of anything changing over the last 65 years, as Prof has rightly pointed out, we've had generational failures. I would like to point out the fact that we often underestimate the impact of generationally weaponized poverty and weaponized ignorance on the populace. I first used the phrase weaponized ignorance and weaponized poverty when I was in the university. That's over 30 years ago. Prof just pointed out that we've had 65 years of 3 generations, successive ones, that have been failed by Nigeria. So when you see the seeming disconnect of the Nigerian from the protest, from the system, the seeming readiness to accept the madness that has overtaken us, understand that it is because what should be the middle class, the class that thinks, that imagines, that communicates to the lower class, has evaporated. So there is nobody preparing those who should protest for the purpose of protest. Now,
do you get the message? They intentionally wiped off the middle class. The middle class are the working class. They are the engine room of any progressive society. They are the teachers, the engineers, the scientists, what do you call them? Like, that kind of professional level where they are, hand-on people, well paid. They would have their own homes, and they have families that they are running in a way that, Baba, if the policies of government is going to, by any chance, affect them, they are the closest people to, the poor. who can make the poor see that something needed to be done, or else your poverty will be pretty much like aggravated, and so many of us too. The threat of it is enough for us to fight and say, no, we won't. Just look out, look about the greed, the systemic greed, generational greed. It's not even just generational greed, but the systemic greed from generations to now have succeeded in wiping it off. Where you see those who are supposed to be the middle class, they are already looking wretched. People who have jobs, but they appear jobless simply because the remuneration they give to them, right, is never enough by any means. So some of them have resorted into gaming the system, by becoming so corrupt enough that they also help to wreck the entire system. I don't know why I keep putting my stuff at the tip of it. Anyway, continue to wreck the entire system. So right now, the country is gone for it. There's no middle class anymore. It's just that those who are rich, super rich, those who are poor and very poor. There is no middle ground per se. Because when you see those who are supposed to be in the middle class, then they, destroying the middle class of Nigeria, right? It's like when you have this hot knife slice through the butter like that. So you see those ones who are here that used to be the middle class organizing, the protest, the civil society organizations, blah, 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 blah. Majority of them have now been pushed to be part of the upper class. They've been given political appointments. They have been appointed ministers. They have been appointed, So to them, they are now seated there. Others who didn't have that chance in that middle class, they have become poor now, poorer. There are so many people that if you probably play back today, when, let's say, 20 years ago, the kind of people you have around where you grew up, I don't know about you, though, but I believe it's almost everywhere. You have this our street. There is this man and this family. They are really not so rich, but they are well to do that. The entire community knows them very well. They know what they are doing. That their children are then something just happened. They may say, oh, he lost his sheep on sea. Oh, he lost his goods. Oh, he lost his job. Or, something happened, and then boom, that family will just become so poor that you witness that, you look back and say, man, 20 years ago, Baba, these people were like, Omo, what happened? So that's the example of how the middle class became what you have today. Some felt they fell so hard. Others fell. They're still struggling. Those are the ones they will say, they are still all right, but they're not like before. They're struggling. While you see some who used to be the middle class before, they are today your favorite politicians. Like, I remember that time when he was driving this 504. Man, you know what I mean? So that's what they have done to Nigeria. This is what they have done, unfortunately. So if you want that to change, it is the entire system that would have to change. It's the system that produces all kinds of characters, holding supposed important institutions and then bringing them to disrepute, ridicule. One of them, again, institutions that have become so disappointing is the traditional institutions in Nigeria, where you have seen different characters who have displayed all unbelievable or unbecoming, unbelievable, characters that are so unbecoming of the kind of positions they hold, right? So we have the Horny of Ife, and we also have the Dangbana Shoko, the Emir of Iwo, the guy who became Oluwo of Iwo, only for him to change the title to Emir, then change it back to Oluwo again. But I kind of love to call him Emir of Iwo. For those of you who probably remember that mental time, it was crazy, right? And he's always been in the news for all the wrong reasons. For that, you can give it to him. And he's not so different from the Horny of Ife as well. So The Horny of Ife became the Horny of Ife and his wife. That didn't last, and he ended up having to go on and remarry. And this time he married more. And everybody seems to have become so cool with that. Like, you know what? That is his life. Oluwo, the Emir of Iwo, now came out to he made a video. That's how he kind of make all his random, foolish videos like that on the internet. But this particular one is like a direct, direct shot at the Horny of Ife. So what happened? I'm not saying I believe his story, but this is an Oba, a supposed Oba, royal father, a king of a kingdom, or somebody who is seated as a king of a kingdom in Iwo, in Yoruba land. So he's sharing the story of his relationship with Ooni with us. I will let him speak so that I don't say what he didn't say, right? He's reporting the Horny of Ife to us. Oluwo versus Ooni. Emir versus Ooni. Here.
This message is for Nigerians, especially the Yorubas. I'm saying this because I want other Nigerians to know. When I get on the throne, we see me talking about this Ooni Adeyeye. You can see me talking about what you don't know. I will tell you today. The governor of Osun State, commissioners, and all. This I heard Ooni Adeyeye, but because Ongbe Orisha law, he was holding Orisha as and me, God has put me as above Orishas, as a king. But let's look at it. And because of that, as a kingmaker or somebody that helped a king to become the king that I was, he doesn't want me to say the story in the future. He was looking for my downfall. Then the next thing, they packaged a woman. It was a woman that was packaged for me, but I don't know her from Canada. But it was packaged for me, it was a setup. After they set me up, they were talking to her in our own AI. She was in my house and they were talking to her and setting me up. Setting up with videos, setting up with many things. This wife will be this supposedly wife, an ex-wife. Well, it was death they sent into my house and they were communicating with her. She was there for over 3 years. She had a child, which I don't even know if it's my child now. I have to confirm that through DNA. Because they want her to kill me. She poisoned me 2 times. They set up assassination attempt. They did everything so that maybe the Orisha or the gods will kill me. But they failed. After I kicked this woman, when I found out the secret and I kicked this woman out, it was this Ooni Adeyeye and Ogunwusi that asked him, what was the lady doing with him in the hotel? I won't mention the hotel, but when there's clarification, I will be mentioning. I'm also kini ṣe ní hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì papọ̀. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó òun náà lọ gbalé fún àtọmọ àtìyàwó ní Ọọ̀ni Adéyẹyè Ògúnwùsì. Ẹ wá ní mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó bá jẹ́wọ́ ni ìyàwó tó fẹ́ pàwọ́. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá o, tó bá jẹ́wọ́ ni tó bá jẹ́yìn ni ìyàwó tí wọ́n set sínú ilé ẹ̀ tó wá pa tí ò rí ọ pa. Ìjà yóò lè tán láti máa bá lọ èmi ò sì ṣe pa ọba àwọn ọba aṣoògùn títí òrìṣà ọtán Ṣàngó ò lè pè mí bàbá mi lè rìṣà bàbá mi ní Ṣàngó bàbá ńlá mi ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ gbọ́dọ̀ ju bàbá náà lọ mo ti dọ́ba lẹ́nìí Ṣàngó ò lè pa mí Ṣàngó èsè criminal Ògún ò lè pa mí Ògún èsè criminal àwọn bàbá ńlá wa ni they are not criminals so they won't be killing their children Ògún àti Ṣàngó ìpààyàn Ọlọ́run ọba Olódùmarè nìkan lọ́mọ gbà ẹ̀yìn kọ́ máa gbógun tò kọ́ máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n ní Ọ̀ọ̀ni ó suspend mi Ọ̀ọ̀ni lè suspend mi lọ́ba paramount ruler ó suspend another paramount ruler so ojú mi lọ ní àgbáwò àbó fipò ojú mi lọ yamba sẹ́ẹ̀tì 1 2 3 ní Ọ̀ṣun kò ṣe pé àwọn paramount rulers wọn ò kàn lè kó gbogbo wa sí number 1 ní àwọn tá a jẹ́ náà paramount rulers so kó ń kálukú lọ máa pé n ti ń bẹ lẹ́yìn ọ̀fà ó jòjì lọ lẹ́yìn bá ti ṣebi sí mi níjọ lẹ́yìn nígbò ń ṣeun àmọ́.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the knockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe that. But yeah, that's the Emir of Iwo. His ex-wife, ex for a reason, ex-wife, enjoys the attention of the Horny of Ife. And he personally feels like if Horny of Ife is not involved in his ex-wife's attempt to kill him by poisoning him twice, and at the same time sending assassins to kill him until he chased her away, right? That if the Horny of Ife is not involved, why is he in an hotel room with her, with his ex? Why is he spending on her? By getting her a house, giving her money and all that? That if it was you, for a woman that tried to set him up, who was there, setting up cameras, asking him some questions so that she could set him up until he discovered all of that and sent her away. That if it was you, that another paramount ruler is doing that, what would you do? What would you think? So he automatically believed then that everything his ex-wife did to him, to kill him, they were possibly motivated or sponsored by the Horny of Ife. So people told him that, and he said, well, his offense, what is his offense? His offense is because he told people that he as a king is above all gods. Do you understand that he is above all these gods that we are talking about in Yoruba land? Because those ones were like his own ancestors. And right now that he is the one that is alive, he is above them. So therefore he can't bow for those gods anymore. That's why they want to kill him. And he's very sure that their Ogun can't kill him, their Shango can't kill him, and their guns can't kill him. So therefore they are going to have to continue the fight, probably for life. It's crazy, yeah? That is a paramount ruler. It's a long story. If we're talking about Shango, Totu wrote a book, oh, guys. I was going to tell you this evening, if I come on this evening, right? I was going to tell you. Our own Totu. Yeah, he wrote a book about the life of Shango. And it's currently on Amazon. Let me give you the link. I'm serious, so I need you to open and check it out. Quite an interesting reading. Yeah. If you check the comment, you're going to just click it and open and check it. Shango's life is the life of some of these Yoruba gods, or Yoruba, ancestors who have now become, the gods in the land. And what happened? Something like a revised edition, so to say. So go check it out. So I called it Royal Rumble, or Royal what? Maybe I shouldn't say. Anyway, we see that all the time. Questionable characters appointed to hold sensitive, important institutions in the country, whose role could be very much like useful if well directed, useful for the orientation of the people in the society. So they can influence a lot, but unfortunately their influence is pretty much like that of extortion, chancers, opportunists who believe that they are entitled to this or that, but not responsible for this and that. Sort of. So more will leave Dangbana for 1 minute. May not be like say, everything is just like a gloom and doom. That's something about me, right? If I point out what they don't want you to look into, at the same time, I can also point out what I think, well, that's not bad. You get what I mean? And that is the part where I was one of those who shared the videos of that derailed Abuja Kaduna train. Remember? A few weeks back, right? So they fixed it. And to rebuild people's confidence, now they have declared the route free. You get what I mean now? You can travel from Kaduna to Abuja on the train for free until December 2025. Except if not lie, then lie to me. But that's what I heard. I think you should hear it too. A lot of people are using their train now, or using the train simply because it is safer. Not like that safe because they've attacked trains before and they've killed somebody on the train. The same Kaduna Abuja train. A lot of people prefer that it's kind of less risky than driving from Abuja to Kaduna. You get what I mean? So here, they are forced travelers. They say over 511 people or 11 passengers, right, joined their maiden, or should I say renewed operation Kaduna to Abuja. Listen.
All right. And some of those passengers spoken to, said that this is the true meaning of renewed hope, having the train resuming on the 65th anniversary of Nigerians' independence. So, tell me, how do you feel that?
I feel it means that following on Independence Day, the reopening of the railway, it shows that there's hope, and I'm optimistic that we are moving forward in the country. So hopefully this whole train thing, the whole fiasco doesn't happen again. And I like that it didn't take much time for them to detect what went wrong and they were able to fix it. So there's really hope for us.
Alright, thank you.
I feel very, very happy. And I really want to say thank you to the management and to the Nigerian Railway Commission. They actually did a very good job, because maybe we're thinking that it was going to take like even a year. So I heard somebody that said it would take like 6 months. But I was just surprised. Just less than even a month, the train is back, and then like AC is working like very well on the train right now. And then I really want to appreciate the management for the work.
Thank you. casting. For don't mind. No, please just post. I like the way you are. I like that. Let my cameraman capture you. Relax. Just keep doing your thing. This is true definition of comfort. You dare not get that in a commercial vehicle. Alright, let me tell you.
We are a poor nation. The bank code we follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They'll do it. Somebody said that. I read a comment, as simple as that comment, is, right? It actually cracked me up. Like, I just laughed because I could imagine it. And that's Miss Xerox. That's you. When you put that your SMH in capital letter, that's like shaking my head. It's like in capital letter means it's like a serious shaking my head. Like, and I don't know, like in my head, right? When I was reading that comment, I was like, that's not even like good to shake it. This is not even like a shake it off. Because in capital letter, it has to go fast, Abby. If you just put a small letter, shake my head, SMH, right? That's like, but if you put it in capital letter, it comes like say, man, right? Baba, it is 65th independence. You hear what I mean? So, and then another comment that cracked me up was that of D1. D1. Your mixed daughter texted you the happy 65th independence, and then you called her to lecture her. Oh dear. I don't know why. The two comments kind of like cracked me up in the sense that for some reason I enacted the scenarios in my head and I just started laughing. And it's crazy. It is. And it is so sad as well, right? That everybody would agree that if things continues the way they are right now, Nigeria is going to end in a very bad place. And bad place means that once things can no longer, once the whole thing slips out of control, like they lose control a little bit, right? You can have civil war. Do you get me now? Yeah, you can have civil war where people will begin to claim their own territories. Some are already claiming their territories right now anyway, ungoverned areas. Anyway, so I've had my fill. And you know what, how we do the brunch time, it's also a phone-in time, but it's like some of you just prefer to just listen to me, chill there, reflect, laugh, and pretend that today is just like any other day. Normally, you are supposed to feel patriotic. You're supposed to change the flag, your profile pictures. Man, times have changed, though. Where are the observers? Where are those people who are very good, the experts, to tell you that the mood of this country, look at this pattern, look at. Can't you see the decline? How the whole thing just declined. As bad as Nigeria be for Independence Day on social media, you go even see Oyibo, see other non-Nigerians who are just probably like couples of Nigerians and all of them. Also, today, you barely see. Because who won't post anything and say happy independence and then you're going to go and get PTSD? Imagine you. Imagine you saying happy independence, Nigeria is a great country, and be a great country. You can't post that for Facebook. And to you are expecting people to say, thank you, my sister, happy independence, good, happy independence. You go to bed. You wake up, 3,000 comments. And the comments that are so popular, they are comments like, now Google kill you. Look at this wish. Look at this useless family. See all this your children where you post for Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria happened to them. Baba, you go get PTSD now. Next year, you go do happy independence again. You go do. Because no amount of propaganda, lies, or intimidation will force patriotism on people. Do you get that now? Life is a give and take. For every patriotism you see in citizens of any part of the world, there is something that connects them to their country. There's something that makes them say, you know what, I'm proud. How many times have you seen people who say it with confidence now, say they are proud of Nigeria, and they are not part of the APC, those who are actually doing the GPT, milking the system as corrupt as it is? How many who say it confidently like the way it was 10 years ago? But even 5 years ago, you go still see people, they do happy Nigeria this, happy Nigeria that, or Nigeria, and some will be writing epistles telling you why Nigeria missed an opportunity. Nigeria was supposed to be a great country. Nigeria, beautiful people. Who get the time now? You go and post your family, put them together. We are dressing your native attire and put the picture and say, may Nigeria be great and all of that, and tell me you won't regret it. You see these people, when you face all these criminal leaders, they get special grip. Whether they grip people, whether they want to transfer their aggression on. And on social media today, there are people who are just scrolling, going everywhere to help inflame any violence. They don't even know you. But I have never seen the level of madness of what people do on social media to vent their frustration or transfer their frustration. So you go come to there, go say Nigeria will be great, Nigeria this or that. Now people will come there, Nigeria is unreal, right? You have 3,000 comments, 2,900 of them. They are cursing your family. They are like, you are the problem of Nigeria. You are this or that. Another person will be telling you to delete this post. My sister, you know I love you. Please delete this post. That one, no one should curse you. You say, please, you need to delete this post. Others will come and say, you don't even pity your children. Why do you have to subject your children to this kind of thing? Which kind of father be this? Which kind of mother be this? Now we come to have family meeting inside the house and say, so whose idea was it that we should do Independence Day photo shoots? It's mine. They have told me that you will put me for trouble in my life. You know that kind of thing. They've told me that you will put me in trouble in my life. Why did I accept to go and do independence? Wait, what did Nigeria do for me, sir? Like, how did you convince me? If it caused wahala, true story. So now everybody is just doing, well, don't curse Nigeria. Let us just pray. Everybody go and get your voters card. People are now persuading people. You can see the pattern. Now only politicians, they tell themselves that everything is fine. Or anybody who is saying it's not fine, these people should stop painting Nigeria bad. Papa, you don't even need to tell everybody if things are fine or not. They will tell you. They will see it. They will feel it. No propaganda can deny that. You know? Independence. And I hope I see you later this evening. So thank you very much, everyone. Again, let me check out Totu's book. Let me see. I'm going to put the link again. Then I'm going to tell you good afternoon. So I'll see you again later this evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa
Ifẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.